a better story right now, the Death Riders or MJF?
Jesus.
Two marquee storylines.
They are. And here's they are two marquee storylines. And like I see, but you see like the bones of things that have some good in them right now in AEW.
Okay.
Like MJF, like the best part of MJF last night was his stare down with Hangman.
Right.
It wasn't Dustin coming out. Like it's they keep teasing this Hangman thing. And you're like, ooh, okay, this is interesting. Where's it going to go? And MJF just gets, keep getting distracted with the elderly. And
it's MJF
in
Legend Killer. We've never seen this before.
So I mean, Dustin was okay last night, I guess. I mean, the problem is like Dustin came out of nowhere. I don't watch ROH. So I'm not a member of Honor Club.
He's got 2 belts there.
So he does have 2 belts. He's a trios champ and he's a tag team champ. So he's got that going for him. But I don't even know the last time I saw him on television is the problem. So for him to come out and like, okay, all right, I guess we could, because the problem is like, I know this isn't going to go anywhere. Right. Like MJF, if he has a match against Dustin Rhodes, they're going to have the match, and then Dustin Rhodes is going to disappear from my television, and we're going on to something better. So I guess I lean towards Death Riders, just because, and maybe because there was one like little detail that I caught last night to start off the show that I really enjoyed. Because they start off as everybody's walking in, and Renee's standing there, and she's interviewing Jay White, and the numbers, they had closed. They're going to trap the Death Riders. And Marina Shafir, just right before the brawl starts, walks over and just picks up Renee and walks off camera. Like, clearly, Mox is saying, hey, make sure my wife, doesn't get hurt in this. Marina protect Renee. She picked her up and took her off camera. And I thought that was enjoyable. That's probably the most enjoyable thing I've had between either segment.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, to me, the one thing that's sort of getting me into Death Riders right now is there a world where Jay White ends up as world champion at the end of this? Maybe?
So you're telling me Cope does not beat Mox at Revolution?
And then Darby's busy climbing Everest.
Well, I don't know if we're ever seeing Darby again. So let's just move past
Jay White's front and center. He's pretty over right now. Maybe.
Then maybe if he's the one who ends up challenging Mox, like we have to end the Death Rider story. So like Mox has got to eat a pin at Revolution. Like that's just, I think, because again, like there are some interesting things going on within AEW right now that I'm enjoying. Obviously Harley Cameron's killing it. Like just absolutely like just an MVP. Didn't know she could be a ventriloquist.
Very impressive.
But very impressively so. Like then wanting to flip off Mercedes Moné and Renee, just making sure she hides it. That whole thing was enjoyable. She picked up her first TV win on Collision.
By the way, Renee is so damn good at everything she does.
Yes.
Like she's such an asset to that company.
Oh yeah. She helps that like really anything Hangman does right now. I hope he gets away from Max Caster, just like squashes him like everybody else and moves on to whatever. But I think Hangman's really interesting right now. I'm curious where Samoa Joe and Hook goes now that they're back together, just because I'm a big fan of Samoa Joe and I'm hoping he can get some rub off onto Hook, who has some potential, a lot of unrealized potential right now in AEW. So there are good things. There's some good, like subtle things that they're building. They just need to move past some of these other storylines and get to them.
I mean, Kenny and
like
Ospreay,
getting the belt off
like
Mox.
in a big spot.
Yeah.
Like everything they're doing is working.
But for the love of, except for the love of God, if you're going to give Kenny Pyro for his catchphrase, let the man know.
I obviously they let someone know, so that Don Callis and them weren't standing there when it went off, so that was good. That could have been an issue.
Because it was excessive. Yes. It was excessive.
And I guess
on the
annoying part is that, like, these two storylines seem to just be overshadowing everything, and they're the glaring ones right now. I feel like the Jarrett part, which is a big part of the MJF, like, they mistimed it when Jarrett got over during the Owen, thinking like it was Jarrett getting over as opposed to it specific to the Owen. Like it was like, oh, this is a feel-good story. They were partners. There's that Jarrett promo. It's not that we want to see Jarrett every week. It was literally just for that moment.
Just for that, because that tournament, yes, exactly, meant something to Jarrett more than anybody else. And so, it's and the same thing with Rhodes. Like, I mean, MJF, it just feels like it's a waste of everybody's time. Both of these things just seem like they're a waste of everybody's time right now. And talent.
Right.
Because there's a lot of talent within the Death Riders that just doesn't work together right now.
They're still the trios champs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Glad
think.
we have those belts.
Yeah, probably don't.
Yeah, I guess those don't exist either. Are those also in the briefcase? Do they all fit in that briefcase?
That'd be impressive. Impressive to make some sort of Harry Potter briefcase to fit all those championships in there.
I saw someone point out
That's amazing.
during the Rumble pre-show, someone had an AEW title, so it has now been seen more on WWE television over the last couple of months than it has AEW. So there's a win.
Yeah, again, when it comes to Death Riders, there was a lot of potential that was just
Yep.
I don't know who to blame for that. I wish I knew who to blame for that, so I could blame them. Ultimately, it comes down to Tony, so I guess I blame Tony for it, because he's the one who ultimately makes the decisions, right? Like a head coach, maybe he doesn't call the offensive plays, but if your offensive coordinator screws up, guess who's coming back on you? So